There is a place, built from hundreds of thousands of gigantic basalt stones, each weighing from several tons to dozens of tons. No machinery, no wheels, no beasts of burden, not even a trace of a nearby quarry site. And the location of this city, it's not on land, nor nestled in a jungle, but right in the middle of the open sea.
An astonishing architectural complex, perched atop coral reefs off the coast of Pohnpei Island, Micronesia, a place once believed to be nothing but endless ocean and whispering waves.
Its name is Madol.
Hearing the name Madol, you might think it belongs in some fantasy novel or ancient myth. A name that echoes from a distant past, as if it exists only in imagination. And indeed, many have thought that way. Because this place is unlike any city humankind has ever known. A network of artificial islets built entirely from massive basalt stones rising from the ocean like a mysterious labyrinth. An extraordinary construction, isolated offshore, showing no signs of modern civilization, with no clear explanation for its origin. That's why archaeologists and international media have given Madol another name, one that evokes loss, legend, and historical haunting. The Atlantis of the Pacific. But while Atlantis is a mere legend, mentioned by the Greek philosopher Plato, a sunken civilization lost beneath the waves, never found, Madol truly exists and is clearly marked on the map. It's not a hypothesis, not a distant tale. You can fly there, stand atop those massive stones, stacked one upon another. You can walk through the narrow canals between the artificial islands, as though you've wandered into an ancient version of Venice adrift on the sea. And when you stand among the towering, heavy, dark gray stone walls, the only thing echoing in your mind is a question that has gone unanswered for over 1,000 years. Who built this city, and how? Lying off the coast of Pohnpei Island, Micronesia, amidst the vast Pacific Ocean, are the ruins of an ancient city few have ever heard of, but once known, can never be forgotten. The stone city of Madol. From above, Madol resembles a surreal painting. Hundreds of rectangular man-made islets rise from the water, crisscrossed by a maze of narrow canals, as if someone had designed an ancient stone version of Venice and gently placed it in the heart of the sea. The entire complex sits just a few hundred meters offshore, atop a natural coral reef. But what astonishes modern archaeologists and engineers isn't merely its existence, it's how it was built. Madol was not built with clay or wood. It was constructed from more than 750,000 basalt stones, a type of volcanic rock that is incredibly hard and heavy, with many blocks weighing between 5 to 50 tons. It is estimated that the total mass of the entire complex exceeds 750,000 tons, a staggering figure when considered in the context of pre-industrial engineering. And that's not all. Basalt wasn't even available at the site where Madol stands. The surrounding area has no suitable quarries. This has led to a question that has perplexed archaeologists for centuries.
How did ancient people transport hundreds of thousands of tons of stone across coral reefs, through rough seas, and under harsh weather, to build an entire city in the middle of the ocean? They had no wheels, no engines, no steel pulleys or cranes. All they had, seemingly, was human strength, or something else that we still don't understand.
Madol is not just a single structure. It is an entire city complex, consisting of around 92 artificial islets, each carefully constructed for a specific purpose: residences for the nobility, ancestral worship sites, temples, food storage facilities, and even cemeteries. Each islet is enclosed by massive stone walls, some reaching 6 to 8 meters high and several meters thick, with narrow interior pathways and a canal system functioning as a kind of internal waterway transportation. The heart of this vast network lies Nandawa's Island, believed to be the ceremonial center of Nan Madol. Here stand the tallest walls, enclosing a serene and sacred space. Local traditions hold that this was once the residence of the Saudalur kings, the dynasty that ruled Pohnpei for centuries until its decline around the 15th century. The entire site resembles a massive stone labyrinth precariously perched in the vastness of the ocean. Layers upon layers of dark gray basalt blocks are stacked without mortar or cement, yet have withstood centuries of crashing waves, storms, and the passage of time. From above, Nan Madol looks like a stone chessboard, where narrow canals divide the artificial islets into distinct zones, as if the city were deliberately and precisely planned. Each islet is a square, each canal a boundary. There is no randomness. And perhaps the most astonishing fact of all, it was built in a time when humans were still believed to live in small tribal societies, hunting and gathering, unaware of advanced engineering or construction techniques. There was no concrete foundation. No modern surveying tools, no blueprints have ever been found, and yet they created a structure that not only exists, but exists in the middle of the ocean. It shouldn't be there, not by any logic of ancient technology, and that's exactly what makes Nan Madol not just a ruin, but a paradox. A direct challenge to everything we think we know about the evolution of human civilization. For generations, under pale moonlight and the whisper of sea breezes rustling through the palms, the people of Pohnpei have passed down a story. One, not written in books, but etched into their collective memory. They say that long ago, from a far-off land no one knows by name, two sorcerer brothers arrived on the island, carried by a boat without oars, drifting on the ocean wind. They did not come to conquer, they came to build. No one knows how. Only that the giant stones began to rise from the earth and quietly stacked themselves amid the sea. In just one night, a stone city emerged from the ocean, complete with towering walls, canals, and artificial islets arranged, as if by a supernatural hand. After the city was completed, the Saudalur dynasty was established. They claimed descent from the gods themselves, ruling from the heart of Nan Madol, governing the entire island with rigid laws, elaborate rituals, and absolute authority. They built temples. They issued prohibitions. They demanded tributes from the people and banned the worship of native gods, sowing quiet resentment that grew across generations. From a sacred spiritual center, Nan Madol gradually became a symbol of arrogance and ambition. The people believed that the Saudalur dynasty had gone too far, defying the will of the heavens, offending the ancient spirits that had guarded these seas since the dawn of time. According to legend, one day a mysterious warrior named Isokelekel, said to possess divine blood, crossed the ocean from a distant land and arrived in Pohnpei. He rose up to overthrow the Saudalur dynasty, bringing an end to an era of oppressive theocratic rule. The dynasty collapsed. Nan Madol fell into abandonment. From that point on, no one lived in Nan Madol. No one dared stay there for long. No one dared build anew. No one wished to dig deeper into the stone to uncover what might lie buried beneath. Even today, many residents of Pohnpei avoid Nan Madol after sunset. They say the place is not meant for the living. They believe the spirits of the Saudalur kings still linger guarding the city, within every stone, every canal, and every salt-tinged breath of ocean breeze. First question, how could ancient people transport hundreds of thousands of massive stone blocks without wheels, without machines, and not even beasts of burden? Imagine this. A single basalt block weighing 20 to 50 tons, roughly the weight of a fully loaded cargo truck. Now multiply that 750,000 times. That is the estimated number of basalt stones used to build Nan Madol, a city constructed on coral reefs far offshore, surrounded by crashing waves and salty winds. But here's the problem. There are no suitable quarries near the site. Researchers believe the stones were likely transported from mountainous areas 30 to 40 kilometers away, through dense jungle, across underground streams, and then across the sea. And all of this took place during a period when the wheel had not yet been invented in this region. There were no engines, no modern pulley systems, no concrete, no rails, no heavy lifting tools. They only had wood, ropes, manpower, or something else. We still don't understand. The most common theory suggests that bamboo or wooden rafts were used to transport the stones by sea. But many modern engineers remain skeptical. How could a simple wooden raft support a 50-ton stone without sinking? How would you balance it on water when one large wave could capsize even a well-built ship? Who had the skill and power to manage hundreds of such voyages, with pinpoint precision? To this day, no experimental model has successfully recreated this transportation process using only primitive tools. And that's why Nan Madol has become an archaeological paradox. A monument that would require industrial-level engineering, yet it was built in prehistoric times, in a remote corner of the Pacific Ocean, with no trace of influence from other great civilizations like Egypt or Mesopotamia. And if those giant stones weren't pulled, pushed, or carried, then how did they get there? Second puzzle. The stone. Came from far away, Nan Madol was built atop a coral reef, with no basalt quarry anywhere nearby. Geological analysis indicates that the stones used in its construction may have been quarried from mountainous regions, 30 to 40 kilometers away from the site. And here lies the dilemma. Transporting multi-ton basalt blocks across such a distance, then across open sea with no large ships, no docks, no cranes, is a task that borders on impossibility. Some theories suggest that the builders used bamboo rafts and timed the tides, but modern experiments have shown this method to be extremely fragile and dangerous. Just one strong wave would be enough to capsize a raft carrying such a heavy load, and no one knows how they managed to move each block into place with such precise alignment. Third puzzle. Built on coral, an almost impossible foundation. Coral is not a stable foundation. It is brittle, fragile, and easily eroded by waves and tides. And yet the ancient builders chose to construct an entire stone city, weighing hundreds of thousands of tons, on this delicate coral base. They had no cement, no concrete foundations, no modern reinforcement equipment. And strangely, after centuries, the structures still stand. Many modern engineers openly admit, if tasked with building a structure like Nan Madol on a coral reef, even with today's technology, it would still be an enormous challenge.
The stone did not come from nearby. It came from very far away. Transporting it by conventional methods seems nearly impossible. So, either the ancient builders possessed a level of technology we have yet to uncover, or there was another force, another intelligence that played a role in the creation of Nan Madol.
Modern theories. Despite numerous excavations, geological analyses, and historical research conducted at Nan Madol, modern archaeologists and engineers have yet to agree on a fully reasonable or conclusive explanation. Theory 1. Bamboo. Rafts and tides. One of the most common theories suggests that ancient builders used wooden or bamboo rafts to transport basalt stones from the mainland to the coral reef, harnessing buoyancy and timing with the tides. This sounds theoretically plausible, but breaks down under scrutiny. There is no archaeological evidence of rafts large and strong enough to carry 50-ton stones. Modern experiments attempting to recreate this method have failed due to wood rotting in water, insufficient buoyancy, high instability risks. Moreover, the Pacific tides are unpredictable, making it nearly impossible to coordinate hundreds of such deliveries with any accuracy. In essence, this theory lacks practical proof and is regarded more as a temporary placeholder than a definitive solution. Theory 2. Levers and rollers. Some scholars believe the ancient builders may have used levers, inclined planes, and wooden rollers, similar to the methods employed by the Egyptians in constructing the pyramids. However, Nan Madol was not built on land, but on water, without the vast open space needed to set up such lifting systems. Furthermore, the terrain of Pohnpei Island is dense with jungle and swamps, making it ill-suited for rolling or dragging heavy objects. And once on the coral reef, with its unstable and fragile surface, this method becomes even less viable. Theory 3. Acoustic levitation and lost technology. Few unorthodox researchers have posed a bold question. What if ancient people had the ability to manipulate sound waves, not for hearing but for lifting? According to this theory, sound waves, when resonated at just the right frequency and intensity, could alter the apparent weight of an object, making it easier to move massive stones without levers, wheels, or machines. This idea is not pure fantasy. Some ancient cultures, Egypt, Tibet, and Peru, have legends about sounds that could move or lift stones weighing many tons. Some claim that Tibetan monks used gongs, drums, and stone chimes in a kind of sacred harmony to raise large blocks up mountainsides. Though no definitive scientific evidence exists, the sound wave hypothesis persists, suggesting that ancient civilizations may have understood a language of matter we've since lost. Theory 4. Ancient aliens, Nan Madol as a leftover trace. This is the most controversial theory, rejected by mainstream academia, but it captures the imagination of millions worldwide. What if Nan Madol wasn't built by humans at all, but rather is the remnant of a civilization from elsewhere? Proponents of the ancient aliens theory believe that Nan Madol could have been a landing site, energy station, or research base used by extraterrestrial beings. Constructed using technology far beyond the era, applying physical principles we have yet to discover. Aligned with celestial bodies, similar to how the Egyptian pyramids correspond to the Orion constellation. Their reasoning includes, no physical evidence has been found documenting Nan Madol's construction process. It's as if the complex just appeared. The stone structures show no primitive tool marks and are stacked together with modular precision as if they were printed or cast. Nan Madol's location coincides with a geomagnetic ley line, much like other ancient sites such as Stonehenge or the Mayan pyramids. And if this theory were true, then Nan Madol wouldn't just be an ancient city, but rather evidence of a forgotten prehistory, a time when humans and someone else once coexisted. Atlantis, as told by the Greek philosopher Plato, was a magnificent civilization far ahead of its time, possessing advanced knowledge and technology. But due to its pride and ambition, It was punished by the gods, sinking to the bottom of the ocean, leaving behind no trace except the faint whispers of legend in ancient texts. For centuries, Atlantis became a symbol of a lost civilization, part philosophical metaphor, part obsession of explorers seeking that which no one else could see. And then, in the vast heart of the Pacific Ocean, emerged Madol, a real stone city, rising above the water, abandoned and shrouded in mystery. Like Atlantis, Madol was built in the middle of the sea, isolated from the rest of the world. Was once a center of power, rituals, and strict social order. And then, as if by fate, it was abandoned, swallowed by time and silence. But here lies a critical difference. Atlantis is a legend. Madol is real. You can see it on satellite maps. You can walk across the artificial islets, touch the rough, cold basalt blocks stacked together over 1,000 years ago. You can stand in the silent canals where once kings, priests, and sacred ceremonies echoed. And if you listen closely, the silence isn't empty. It's a whisper of a secret never revealed. A stone city in the ocean. No one knows who built it. No blueprints, no construction records, not a single inscription. Only towering, basalt walls weighing tens of tons, stacked precisely on fragile coral foundations, as if the ocean itself had lifted them into place.
Have you ever wondered, how did they do it? Could it really be human hands, bamboo rafts, and tides, as some traditional theories suggest? Or did they possess a technology we've never known? Could they have made stone fly, or... And this is just speculation. Were they not entirely human? And what happened to them? Why was such a meticulously built city abandoned, left untouched, uninhabited for hundreds of years? Perhaps it was a lost civilization. Perhaps it is a warning from the past. Or maybe Madol is only the tip of something far greater beneath the surface. What do you think? If you had the chance to stand on those stones, what would you do? Would you try to uncover more? Or would you listen to hear what they're whispering? Share your thoughts, because maybe, just maybe, one of us is the closest we've ever been to the truth. And if you love mysterious, unsolved stories, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss the next journey.